You're listening to Qwerpline here on QWRP-FM. Qwerpline this week is brought to you by Balmoral Floral Laurel. Take a kingly slumber on these fragrant boughs, fresh from the gardens of Aberdeenshire. Balmoral Floral Laurel comes in teal, eggplant, and coral.
Good morning, Innsbruck. Welcome to Qwerpline. Big G Money here with A Train. How's it going, Alex?
I'm feeling hardened and tempered.
You gonna join me at the town hall later for a quench?
That's really funny, but you're talking about the wrong part of the process.
Well, we wouldn't want to be inaccurate here in beautiful Innsbruck. We don't need to explain it. We just need to say it.
Yep, that's what they say.
And they're not wrong. You say Innsbruck and people just know what you mean.
The news?
Right, yes, the news. Preparations are complete for the Thurston County Fair, as listeners are aware, due to a massive backlog of contested speeding tickets at the county courthouse.
For what it's worth, I voted against installing photo radar at the Julesburg Motor Oval.
Innsbruck has offered to host the Fair as a means to expedite all of the county's upcoming court cases.
Gathering all of the county judges in the municipal park is no mean feat.
No, Alex, the meanest feat was constructing all of the makeshift benches and gavels so they can hear the cases. And in typical Innsbruck fashion, we've under-promised and over-delivered. There are now too many benches for all the available judges, so a lottery will be held this afternoon at the park's Thunderdome to select at least 50 deputy judges. So if anyone wants to pass verdict over their fellow citizens, be there before noon.
I was a temp judge 2 years ago, and it's not worth it. You spend more time in line than you do in jail.
And if you are looking to dodge the law, maybe grab your running shoes and a serving tray, because it's also time for the annual Innsbruck Run for the Cured meet. This year's route will take participants through the most picturesque parts of the East Sump Acres culvert grid.
And all the other parts, too.
With stops every 50 meters, so participants can sample a variety of exotic local charcuterie.
How can these meets be both exotic and local?
The organizers assure us that it will become obvious to all runners partway through the course.
The 3rd or the 4th?
And be sure to check out the other events, like the Soprasada Relay, Scotch Egg Cornhole, and the opening of last year's Salami Time Capsule.
Maybe they should just leave that one closed, for posterity and sanitation.
And our top story today, of course, the Masked Raccoon has struck again. For the 4th day in a row, things have been appearing overnight on people's lawns. With no rhyme nor reason to their locations across Innsbruck or the contents of the lawn, Officer Steve from Innsbruck PD surmises it is either a single vigilante with a pickup truck or up to 4 vigilantes with mopeds, but regardless, someone the citizenry have nicknamed the Masked Raccoon. A new development, though. One of today's victims told Innsbruck PD that the items that appeared on their lawn in the morning, 1 broken blender, 1 pontoon boat with a slow puncture, 1 3-kilogram lead ingot, and a guitar case full of moldy issues of local pornography, were items that they had previously thrown away.
Who would throw away perfectly good copies of rugs? Rosemary pays top dollar for those.
And here, with what he assures us is a groundbreaking investigation that will shed light on the identity of the Masked Raccoon, is Montgomery Cone?
That's right, crime fans. It's me, Montgomery Cone. I figure this is the closest Innsbruck will ever get to appearing on Serial, so I loaded up on my Wheaties this morning, and I've got a notebook of facts that I've now distilled down to a tight 5-part series.
Monty, you have 4 minutes.
Maybe we'll just play the preview then. Hit it, Gus. Daybreak. Dateline, Innsbruck. A mad genius stalks these night streets. Their broken cargo unloaded from the back of a pickup truck, or perhaps 4 mopeds, onto the lawns of the unsuspecting citizenry. Only I, Montgomery Cone, have the wherewithal, the perseverance, and the grit to seek out the Masked Raccoon and bring him to justice. I started my stakeout in the back alley of Raster Heights, prowling between garbage bins and compost buckets.
This is good radio.
It's nice.
The wind blew cold that morning. Suddenly, I caught a whiff of exhaust fumes. I whipped my head around, expecting an attack, but they were gone. And all that remained was a soiled box spring and a couple stacks of Kitty Corner Schlorpo commemorative cups, still sticky with the remnants of thick ones. I cursed my bad luck and screamed at the rising sun as the mad laughter of the Masked Raccoon echoed through the night.
Wait, stop that. Monty, you said it was morning. It can't be morning and night in the same sentence.
It's a narrative device, Graham. I use them all the time to pad out the series. That's why it's 180 minutes long.
Monty, that was startlingly well produced, honestly, but Qwerpline is not 3 hours long.
Come on, Graham, I gotta make my money back. How else am I gonna pay off this copy of Audacity?
Audacity is free.
Only if you're not willing to support the open source movement.
What if we compromise, Monty? Could you skip to a part where something happens?
And that's my cue.
Is it?
Michael, don't tell me you...
That's right, Monty. I've already set up an interview with the Masked Raccoon. I ran into them at the liquor store while I was buying Armagnac.
How did you know it was the Masked Raccoon?
And why were you both buying Armagnac?
I could tell it was them because A, they were wearing a mask, and B, they were driving a pickup truck filled with junk and 4 mopeds.
Curse you, Michael, you scooped me again.
Sorry about your bad luck, Monty. Looks like I'll be holding on to this gold ice cream scoop for another month.
Well, fair is fair, Michael. I'll see you tomorrow night at VR Highlight.
I've moved my chandelier. We shouldn't have any more problems.
I'm sorry, Michael. Circling back to our top story, you've got the Masked Raccoon to agree to an interview?
They're on the phone right now. They've agreed to do an interview on condition of anonymity. Shall I hand it over to you? I have to go roll up my rugs.
Sure, why not let me control the phones? What a novelty. Well, thank you, Michael, and a little less thank you to Monty. We have now on the phones the Scourge of Innsbruck, the Masked Raccoon.
This is going to be awesome.
Hello, Masked Raccoon, you're live on the air.
Hello, Innsburgers, you filthy animals. It is I, the Masked Raccoon. I am not an animal. I am a woman, an angry woman.
Well, thank you for joining us, Miss the Raccoon. I'm just being handed some questions by Gus. Thank you, Gus. Obviously, didn't have time to prepare this. So, question 1, why the Masked Raccoon? All raccoons have masks. Why not just call yourself the Raccoon? Thanks, Gus.
I'm going to ignore that question because it was as stupid as everybody else in Innsbruck. You people are terrible, and it is time for you to reap what you have sown.
Question 2, what are your superpowers? Gus, did Derek help you write this list?
I have the power to see what needs to be done around here. Hold on, I need to get a throat lozenge. Voice is killer. Ah, that's better. That's better. All right, Innsbruck, listen up. I, the Masked Raccoon, have 3 demands. First, properly sort your garbage and recycling. Second, get it through your thick skulls that used hypodermic needles and razor blades are not recyclable under any circumstances. And third, stop calling me the Masked Raccoon, because I deal with them a lot at work and they honestly make me really nervous at this point.
Hang on a second.
Did you just put the Masked Raccoon on hold?
I think I have a hunch who this is. Gus, could you put us through to the rum tunnels? They have a landline, right?
Hello, you've reached the Innsbruck Rum Tunnels Historical Tour Site and Car Wash. Please be advised that Innsbruck County health officials say that you should not ingest any rum found in the rum tunnels. Admission is $10 or $15 if you want some rum. How can I help you?
Sandy, are you the Masked Raccoon?
What? Why would I be the Masked Raccoon? I'd have to get up way early. Hold on, am I on the radio?
I really thought I had that one.
She's not going to admit to being the Masked Raccoon on radio, Alex.
Well, then we'll just turn the other line back on.
What? You really thought Sandra Brentmore was the genius behind the Masked Raccoon? Please! Wait, is the Masked Raccoon doing my voice? Even I try not to sound like this. Yeah, I have actually noticed it's actually very hard on the throat.
Are you kidding me right now?
Oh, yeah, if you're gonna try to sound like me, you gotta get yourself some lozenges or some pipaqua. They sell it at the kitty corner right near the recycling center. Oh, perfect, that's right near my work. Hold on, Kendra?
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 Yes? No, it is me, Rosemary Southsmith. Send me back issues of Rugs.
Wow, what an incredible impression.
Thank you, I haven't been working on it for as long as I was working on my Sandra impression, but I think it's pretty good and I might take it over to Piddler's.
Kendra, why are you doing this?
I already told you. Oh, God, no, I just can't do that. I already told you. It's because you cretins can't recycle anything properly. You dump everything in our bins, whether it goes there or not, and I am just returning it from whence it came.
How are you able to keep track of who's dumping all this stuff so you can return it to the right lawn?
Do you cross-reference facial recognition from the surveillance cameras against the recycling profiles in your Raccoon computer? Is your Raccoon computer a Beowulf cluster made of remaindered PCs dropped off over the years?
No, I can just see the drop-off slot from my office.
So, Kendra, now that we've unmasked you, what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm going to keep doing it. Who's going to stop me? I've got a pickup truck and I'm recruiting bird-themed interns. You get a free moped. But before I go, remember, recycle responsibly or the Masked Raccoon will find... Actually, before I go, Sandra, what was that thing that you said they had at the kitty corner? Peapod Quo? No, Peapod Quo. Look, I swear by it. It's filled with, herbs and honey. It's from Hong Kong, but it's totally legal.
Thank you, Kendra Teltington and Sandra Brentmore and Michael O'Leary and Montgomery Cone and Gus, I suppose. Don't push your luck, Gus. But speaking of things that are dubiously legal in Hong Kong, we go now to Richter Hammock Slam up in the QWRP Traffic Quopter for the latest on Innsbruck traffic. How's it going up there, Richter?
It is a beautiful day up here in the air, Graham, though I must admit that there is some significant congestion out there. I'd like to advise our listeners that if they want to avoid excess latency, they may want to find an alternate route or try multicasting.
Hold the mic a sec, Graham. I gotta drop acid.
Excuse me?
It short circuits migraines.
Cool. Richter, they didn't cover, multicasting in my driver's ed class.
Well, Graham, there's a lot they don't cover in our driver's ed classes if the behavior of the motorists of our fine city are any indication. Or rather, the lack of their indicators. That's not the point. The point is, it's all about computers. They are the way of the future, and the future is coming at us fast. That means that you need someone out there watching over you, letting you know when it's time to get out of the way.
Richter, are you reporting on the traffic congestion on TherpNet?
If you knew anything about worldwide internet communications, Graham, you would know that TherpNet is but a small part of this global spanning network. And quite frankly, if you want the good speeds, you're going to have to get yourself a real connection. Internet bandwidth in telecommunication networks has been doubling every 18 months, an observation expressed as Eldon's Law. However, when you start adding more and more people onto this network, things get backed up, like, say, an unflushed toilet.
Well, not everyone in the county can afford Sheffield Fiber.
Point taken, Graham. That said, though, Sheffield Fiber is still just a Tier 2 ISP, and you're still hopping between 2 or 3 IXP peering groups before you hit the Tier 1 networks.
Wow, Richter knows a lot about telecommunications.
Oh, okay, so he is speaking English and this hasn't kicked in already.
Turns out you can get a lot done in the time between takeoff and landing. It only took me 2 weeks to get my Cisco CCIE Enterprise Infrastructure certification. That's expert level.
Richter, the time between takeoff and landing is when you are at work.
Exactly, which is why at this point I would like to recommend that our listeners avoid routing any traffic through RXOR Technicare ED BigPipeInc.com and maybe move towards router-in nemtocheck.net in Maryland. That said, if you're unable to move your packets around like that, at least move your data off the IP layers into UDP. You should be able to at least shave off a few milliseconds.
Graham, are you sure I'm not tripping balls already?
This is exactly the type of technical misunderstanding that TCP over IP is supposed to alleviate.
So, are things moving smoothly wherever that is?
At the moment, Graham, we're only looking at about 2.3% cross-site scripting injection attacks, and only about I'd say 0.1% command injections at this very time. However, things may be looking up as the business day goes forward. May I suggest that if you have any problems communicating with your partner there, you may want to power cycle them first before you go forward with any further troubleshooting. Back to you.
Thank you, Richter. So you heard it here first. If you are experiencing congestion, try finding an alternate router to work. And with that, I think that takes us up to the break.
Does it? I thought something else usually happened around now. What is time?
Right, well, when we come back... Oh, no, yeah, okay, sure, right. Graham doesn't get to use the phones. Well, at least that's back to normal. Thanks, Gus. That was sarcastic. Hey, it's the radio. You're live.
Graham!
Oh, ambivalence.
Hey, G-Money, check it out. I can move my hands.
Cool. What's up, Derek?
I'm happy to be on the air, but I'm a little hurt.
Did you forget to duck?
What?
On your way to the interview? I know the ceilings are real short.
No, I'm just hurt because I was telling you guys since this all started that the Masked Raccoon was Kendra, but no one was listening to me.
Well, I'll have to take your word on that, Derek, as I super wasn't listening.
I can hear everything, and I didn't pick up on that.
I just wish someone had talked to me, because, I had a whole piece I was going to do. I was going to interview experts on the psychology of the modern vigilante.
Oh, that probably would have been better than whatever Monty brought in. Well, I'm sorry, Derek. I'll tell you what. Get out of Dragon's Landing and go talk to the man on the street.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds fine. I'll do that. Sorry, guys. I'll see you for the Pog-Off on Friday.
So, now, listeners, with the startling revelation that the Masked Raccoon is Kendra Tiltington, the director of the Recycling Center, we go now to summer intern Derek to ask the man on the street how they feel about it.
Hello, gentle listeners. It's me, summer intern Derek, out here on the street, outside of Dragon's Landing comic book shop, to ask the man on the street questions about the identity of the Masked Raccoon and how I got it right on the first day. You there, ma'am. Do you have any opinions on the Masked Raccoon turning out to be Kendra Tiltington, who works at the Innsbruck Recycling Center?
Oh, I don't know about that. But I do have some opinions about her impression of me. And I want to say that I want those copies of rugs for a new exhibit we're putting on of Innsbruck's nascent pornography industry.
Thank you, Rosemary. That sounds informative and entertaining. However, my dad won't let me come with him to the museum anymore. He cites personal issues.
Oh, that's too bad, Derek. You should really come by on Children's Day to check out the exhibit. It's very educational.
I'm 19?
And if your father does have any personal issues, please let him know that he can sell them to the museum for top dollar.
It's that easy to get rid of personal issues? He's been seeing a therapist for months for CBT.
Derek! Wow.
Oh, sorry, little boy. That won't be the children's version of the exhibit.
Derek, could you find someone else? Joan has turned the light on.
Wow, this early? I thought we had at least a few more minutes before the break. Well, thanks, Rosemary. Let me see who else is out here. Oh, look, it's Officer Steve in his patrol car. Officer Steve?
Yes, citizen?
I'm not just a citizen, I'm summer intern Derek, here to ask the police the hard-hitting questions about the identity of the Masked Raccoon.
Am I being detained?
No, you're on the radio.
Oh, then it was Kendra Tiltington.
That's what I said 3 days ago. No one listened to me.
Why not? You clearly had everything correct.
Yeah, well, they won't let me into the office pool because they said I'm not old enough, but I think it's because I'm too good a swimmer.
Boy, tell me more about this office pool you're involved in.
Derek.
I've never actually seen it, but I think it's in Michael O'Leary's sub-basement.
Derek, move on.
Yeah, I suppose I should. The lights turn green anyway. Bye, Officer Steve.
Be sure to drop by the town hall for a full report on that pool you were mentioning, and by which I mean the town hall where we make the laws.
I can't go in that one. I'm only 19. Oh, hark! The ominous sounds of a diesel moped means here comes Montgomery Cohn at 30 feet and closing quite fast.
Derek! You're right. It was Kendra Tiltington all along.
I know, Monty. No one listened to me, though.
I listened to you, Derek. I knew you were right.
Well, if you knew I was right, then why didn't you tell everybody when you were on the radio?
You can't just drop a bombshell like that at the beginning of a long-running series. I had to put that at the end. Otherwise, nobody would listen to 180 minutes and I wouldn't get a free mattress for sponsorship.
Well, what am I supposed to do now?
Well, I say you could probably go to the town hall and pick up your winnings in the pool.
The pool's at the town hall? Is that why everything smells like chlorine?
If I may interrupt, Monty, why are you there? You were just here at the radio.
I couldn't let the news get ahead of me, Graham, so I signed up for a bird-themed internship and a free moped. Now I can chase down my stories at 40 clicks, which is a little faster than I can run.
Wow, you can run it under 40 kilometers an hour? That's as fast as a real motorcycle, in low gear.
I live my life 5 gears at a time, Derek. Or 3 if I'm on this moped, at least. Hey, you want to ride to the town hall to collect your winnings?
Okay, but you'll have to go inside for me. I'm not allowed in the pool.
Do you guys ever just think about...
Yes, all the time. Well, thanks, Derek. Have a good ride to the town hall, I guess. Wear a helmet. Officer Steve is just in front of you.
Okay, thanks, Graham. Bye.
Bye.
And that will take us up to the break. And the light hasn't turned on, so I guess that's correct. When we come back, if you've been concerned about the low, mournful wails coming from Lesser Miami, it's not ghosts, it's Cyril Puffman practicing with his new euphonium. The beloved blowhard will be representing Thurston County at the National Warning Horn Championships and has embarked on a rigorous embouchure training regimen in order to ready himself.
Yeah, what's a euphonium again? Is that the tuba you can wear?
Welcome back. That's a sousaphone. A euphonium's like a smaller tuba.
And those are tuned in B flat, correct?
Only if you're playing treble clef. It's a concert C if you're playing bass clef.
Oh, here it comes again.
And if you were disappointed when last week's Sideball Grinder got rained out, don't despair. The Innsbruck Sideball Esports League has organized a virtual makeup game. The Literal Tigers will be facing off against the Heathston Mole Rats, not on the field, but online, with Hazelton Braid's 1986 Sideball for Wangs.
Ugh, oh, I hate that version. The AI is a goddamn cheat.
Yes, but it is the definitive virtual sideball simulator.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Melody Yum is going to balance salary caps and player retention strategies.
Well, according to Coach McFeels, Yum's plan is to punch the monitor until it stops shooting sparks. That's happening today at the Innsbruck Middle School Library, and if they run out of seating space in Storytime Grove, you can tune in online at 172.16.55.255.
Is anyone even going to be able to connect to that outside the library?
Let's ask Richter. Stick around, more Qwerpline after this.
I don't think this was acid. Uh-oh.
You're listening to Qwerpline here on QWRP-FM. Thanks again to our sponsor, Balmoral Floral Laurel. Take a kingly slumber on these fragrant boughs fresh from the gardens of Aberdeenshire. Balmoral Floral Laurel, awake with a glow most auroral.